Hey you guys, so it's been a while since I've done a video like this. I'm kind of, excited to jump back in, but we're going to be looking at this full moon that is coming up December 4th, and it's in the sign of Gemini, and I'm going to just be looking with oracle cards, intuition, opening up, seeing what flows through, but also connecting with the energies of Three Eye Atlas because I am keeping an eye on that. So let's dive in and see what the energy of this full moon is bringing. Instantly, I'm feeling this opening. I'm feeling like this, this ease, this flow of energy, this flow of ease, and just letting go. I feel the mind letting go of things that it was holding on to, that it was hooked into, that it was attached to. I'm feeling letting go of that, letting go of certain things. It's going to be easier to make bygones be bygones. It's going to be easier to leave certain things in the past. It's going to be easier to forget about certain things and just move forward and let it go. Not only is it because it's the end of year energy, but like I said, it just feels like, yeah, time to move on. All of a sudden the interest is gone in whatever had you stuck, stymied, trapped, running around in circles, a certain way of seeing and viewing things that you've wanted to let go for a long time, but weren't able to, just found yourself being caught up in this over and over and over again. And suddenly it's just letting go. Okay. So the first card that has popped up is Mick the Myomancer. And this kiddo or this gentleman is a gardener, right? He's a gardener. So he gets things to grow. He knows exactly what to prune, exactly what to leave, exactly when to prune, exactly when to leave it. And he just trusts the flow of nature. He's fully become a part of the flow of nature. And it feels like this is kind of the energy that is, it's also a 42-6, and 42-6s, as you guys know, has to do with balance, has to do with beauty, has to do with the aesthetics of things. So it feels like there's a balance that's something's being righted through this full moon, and there's a balance that's a harmonizing that's coming in again. I'm also feeling because this full moon is in Gemini, right? So, well, our Gemini, okay, it's actually in a different sign, but we'll just go with the Gemini thing. But it's I am actually feeling that this has to do with communication. It has to do with letting go of a stuckness or a stubbornness in your communication. So this may have to do with finally releasing a point. It's not about winning. Up until now, it was about winning with someone, but now you're letting go of that need to win and you're just allowing it to be. And you're realizing, hey, there was never a point of contention in the first place. There was never an argument in the first place. Not really, right? So the second card that comes up is the Glanconer, and this guy is a mesmerizer. He is someone who is a little bit showy, who's a little bit um flashy. This is someone who draws all eyes on him. This is someone who likes to be in the center of attention. This is someone who walks into the party and is the life of the party. This is also a very, because you can barely see here, but it is there's a sexuality that goes in with him, right? This swagger, this sway. So there's something coming up around this type of energy and in December again as well. There may be more information that is released around someone who represents this kind of energy, but this is someone who's very into the um likes to be in positions of being seen, positions of power, of being seen, of being looked up to, of being admired, of being recognized, of being famous. This is someone who definitely yeah, this is this kind of character here. Look at me. And but this is a glamour. He casts glamour over everything. And he makes even the sordid and the unappetizing seem amazing and seem beautiful and seem glamorous. This is a very glamorous sheen on something. So I feel like more work is gone because Mike Diggs. Like that's part of his job. And all of a sudden, as I'm looking at these two cards, I'm seeing more work digging down into something that is covered in glamour, that is covered in makeup. Okay. So another card that is coming out is the undressing of the salad. Yes. So something that has been very complicated is now being unraveled. So complex connections are being easily seen, are being easily recognized. Complex connections are being absorbed. It's easier to see now. It's easier to see what was or what is happening. Okay. December full moon, please. Fairies and pixies. What's going on in this December full moon? We've got the bright mother, and because of YouTube, I have to do this. So we've got the bright mother, and this is once again, I keep saying like it keeps coming up. I just and she's coming up more and more often now. So there might be a reveal around a very powerful woman. There might be a reveal around someone who's in the feminine sphere, feminine energy, who holds a lot of power. Okay. What else here? This one wanted to fly out. We've got the angel. This is the singer, it says, but the singers are the angels of initiation. So this full moon is also asking us to it's to step up, right? To step up into the new frequencies that are being offered here, to step up into really aligning with this ability to communicate, to speak your mind, speak your ideas, but also absorb new information that is coming through, being able to receive that information and then transmute it, transform it, do something with it, not just receive the information and put it aside because you don't know what to do with it, or you don't want to change your existing information database set. So it's time for you to shift that, change that, throw everything out that you think you knew and allow the newness to come in. What else here? What else, please? We've got the singer or the angel of transfiguration, and that's exactly what we were speaking about. So I'm going to end the shuffling here. We've also got the lady of the harvest. So again, a female. And we've got the loam. Okay, the loam. And here was this one popped up actually, and then, but it was underneath the loam like this. So soul. Okay, Solos represents those energies that are, they can be very divine. They can be absolutely divine. This is like the divine intellect, the divine mind. But in the lower energy frequency of the human being, this can turn into a blazing ego structure. This is a very egoic, self centered male energy. And we've got a woman here who has been suffering and who is still suffering in a sense. You can see how her her wings are tattered, and yes, she's riding in on the ancestors, old knowledge that is uncomfortable. That's what I'm hearing. Okay. Knowledge that is uncomfortable. That is um, almost a little bit distressing. Yeah. And so it's the knowledge of the grandmothers. It's the knowledge of the old women that have lived their lives and now they see things clearly for what they are and not for the pretty picture that we try to paint them as or it as. And so she's sitting on this knowledge, this kind of knowledge, and it's a support to her. It's a push to her, but at the same time, she knows she cannot stay there. Um, but it feels like this may be, yeah, it honestly feels like this is human consciousness itself. Okay, human consciousness itself, as it sits in between, because this is where she was sitting, right? In between this. this really harsh, hardcore masculine way of seeing things and doing things, and the feminine way of seeing things and doing things, the more natural way, the lady of the harvest. So it's right now this consciousness is being shredded between the heart and the mind, the softness and the cerebralness of the intellect, but it's an opportunity for us to see this as an initiation. Okay. See this as an initiation into transmutation or transfiguring the energies. So accepting what is, because you can't change anything, you can't transfigure anything unless you accept first what is, right? Because if I want to turn one element into another, I have to accept that this element is what it is, right? If I'm going to turn lead into gold, I have to first accept that I'm holding lead. Like it is what it is. And I can't say this is silver and I'm going to turn it into gold, or this is jade and I'm going to turn it into gold. It is lead. And then I can do what I need to do to turn it into gold, because whatever I'm going to need to do is dependent upon the quality of the material that I'm accepting and holding. And so what it is that we as humanity need to do, or you as an individual need to do, is dependent on the state of being that you find yourself in. And we only can move out into a better direction if we accept where we are. So there's this whole thing about self-acceptance that is going to be huge in December, and moving into the next year, because that's the only way we're going to be able to change anything. So self-acceptance, of course, on any level, right? So on the personal level, individual level, but also moving through, right, the group level, the country level, and recognizing this is where we are at. Okay, so let's have a look at the Lenormand. And then I'll do a really quick Aries through to Pisces. But what is this full moon bringing for you overall? The full moon energy. Full moon energy in Gemini. Full moon in Gemini, please. Full moon in Gemini. We've got. So what it's shining a light on is, one second. Okay. What it's shining a light on is this is a greater theme. This is the park, and the park represents a grander scheme, a grander theme, a bigger picture. It represents, of course, medical institutions, educational institutions. So there may be information coming out about these institutions due to this full moon. There may be information coming out about a specific educational institution. For some reason, Harvard keeps popping up. Harvard educational and medical. Okay, so there might be something coming up there, but it has to do with someone also who's in the public eye, who's standing at the forefront of something. This month is going to shine a bright light on those that stand in the public eye. Then, so here we have the stars. And again, the stars can represent celebrities. It can represent someone who stands in the public eye, who's very successful. It can also represent hopes, dreams, career in the Lenormand. It can represent, but also again, medical things in certain interpretations. But hope, dreams, positivity, but definitely something to do with a public person. And here we have the cross. So somewhat something in the public eye in December. Okay. I was picking that up already in the December reading that I did. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. But there's something going on with someone in the public eye. And it might be, I don't know if it's Candace, like I don't know. There's a lot of stuff now that she's releasing that is quite concerning. So let's pray and hope not, but the outcome card is good. So the tree, all will be well, and that this December is allowing us to clear the field, so to speak, and plant seeds of longevity. Okay. Plant seeds of longevity. But this here is a little concerning to me. I have to say. Okay. Because there are only two cards in the Lenormand that really show endings. And here it is, like one of them is right at the bottom. As I picked up the deck, it was this one and this one. So people see the coffin and they think, "Oh my gosh, that's like death because it's the coffin," but it's not that kind of death. It's a kind of ending. Yeah, things have come to an end, but there's always a next, a new beginning. But with the Skype, it is sudden, it is out of the blue, it is unexpected, it is vicious, it is malicious, it is angry. There's an anger behind it. And with the cross, it's faded. Like there's absolutely nothing you can do because this has been written by destiny, by fate itself. So this would be the coffin. So a lot of people see the coffin and they think, oh, this, no, no. But the cross and then me picking up the deck and this was at the very bottom. Yes, that is a little concerning. Okay. So another thing that is popping up on my radar, like, is Luigi Mangione. So let me just pull one card for him, because I feel like there's going to be a little bit more about him again in December now. And let's see here, the card that pops up. So the ring, some kind of a deal is going to be struck. Okay, some kind of an agreement, some kind of a, or it has already been struck, right? So some kind of an agreement, some kind of a deal has already been struck, and now we're just going to see it all play out. That's pretty much it. Plus, they're going to go over and over and over because the ring is also going around and around and around. So they're going to go over and over and over certain things. Anything else with the December 4th full moon, please? Is there anything coming up with the environment or weather or anything like that? Environment, weather, December. Is there anything to do with? We've got the clover, so more good days than bad. It's also a very short month and some cloudy days with the coffin, I guess. Yeah, some storms, but nothing major here. No, it's mainly heart and solar sun, so it's mainly okay. A little warm some places, but mainly okay. All right, what else is coming up, please? The sky. Okay, so I'm going to end it here, but there's definitely something happening in December or some kind of at least we're going to continue talking about something possibly happening, could be happening, maybe has happened in the past. I'm hoping for that. But something sharp is rolling through in December. Something is coming up here. All right, so let's have a look with the fairy cards from Aries through to Pisces, and I'm going to move really quickly. I'm just going to do a quick, concise energy read on this full moon and how it may be affecting you. Make sure to check your sun, moon, rising, also those that you love and care for. And if you don't feel that, this represents you, then check the sign that came before. Okay, because it could be that it's because it's 23.5 degrees off. Okay, so anyways, let's dive in. We'll start off, of course, with Aries. Aries and this full moon, what's going on with you? Aries, there might be something of travel coming up for you, okay? So lots of talk about shifting spaces, changing spaces, traveling, moving forward, that kind of thing. And you maybe not be traveling alone, but be mindful of the burdens that you carry with you or the expectations wherever it is that you're going. It could be that this is just the card of change, the journeyman. And as you travel, you learn, you experience expand, you grow. But be mindful to also every now and then sort through your little backpack and throw the junk out that you don't need anymore and hold on to what does make sense for you. Okay. So, but it feels like you'll be on your merry way in December. Some of you, this can indicate that you're also doing things on your own by yourself. So, whatever that means for you, this is definitely a card where you're moving on your own or by yourself. Okay. Taurus. Taurus, what's coming up for Taurus, please? And we've got Penelope Dreamweaver. So Penelope is the one who visits you in your dreams, and she asks you, what is it that you desire? And not only I can make things come true. So there's an element of temptation here in this card. So I want to say that, you really need to be mindful not to be tempted into your lower natures, Taurus. Okay. So whatever it is that's showing itself in December is asking you, are you ready? Are you ready for what's coming next? Are you ready for the next big thing in your life? Are you ready for the next portal, the next doorway? Are you ready to walk through it and really have what it is that you say you desire? Because she's going to show up in your dreams and ask you, what is it that you want? And she might even have an apple. Okay. So be very, very discernment is something that she also teaches. Okay, be very discerning. So this could also mean that in your waking life you're also going to have a situation where you have to be discerning about the situation, because it feels like this would be your ideal, this would be your dream, this is what you want, right? You want this situation so bad, but deep down inside you know that this wouldn't be good. So, what is it that you really, truly want all the way deep, deep down inside? And to become aware of that, cognizant of that, and move out of that space and not the easy, quick fix, instant gratification space. Okay. So, discernment is key. Then what's coming up next for Gemini? Gemini, we kind of went through what this moon is doing in your sign and what it's activating a little bit. But let's get some cards for you here. And the two cards that show up, or the card that fell out, is ecstasy. Okay, this is ecstasy. And ecstasy is, it's exactly that. It's simply joy. And this feeling, that was the feeling that I had stepping into this reading, was that something is opening up. The sky is opening up. Everything is just becoming more and just bigger and beautiful and expansive. And it feels like that for you, Gemini. It feels like something heavy has fallen off your wagon. Something heavy has fallen off your shoulders, and you no longer have to carry that heavy weight, that dead weight, and that things are just opening up for you in December. So utilize the energies of this full moon and do what needs to be done, but also don't give up on your dreams, right? Follow them, pour yourself into them, say yes to them, and you'll see them manifest. Moving forward to Cancer. Cancer, what's coming up for you, please? We've got the angel of connection. So this full moon in Gemini, everybody's talking about connection, right? Connection, being able to communicate, talk, speak, do all that. But also I'm feeling here a reconciliation, right? A strengthening of your ties and bonds to those that you love and those that love you. This is a month where you're really going to feel loved, Cancer, where you're also going to feel how people reach out to you, how people that love you want to connect with you, want to share with you. So don't get annoyed, don't get aggravated, get into gratitude that there are people out there who genuinely love you and care about you and want to connect with you. And it feels as if, oh, some of you haven't believed that for a long time. You've been telling everybody that. You've been telling everybody, oh, they love me and I'm such a loved person. You've been trying to convince yourself of that, but you haven't really felt it at all. And I feel like the proof is coming this month that you are loved and that you can believe what you tell yourself. Okay. All right. Moving forward to, yeah, I keep getting snagged with you. What is this? Some of you feel like you're a bother, Cancer, like you're more of a drain or a bother. There's very low self-esteem here. Not feeling like you're belonging. And it feels like you're asking yourself, where do I belong? Why don't I feel like I belong to someone or something or somewhere? And this is absolutely, let me pull a Lenormand for you, because I truly feel that this is going to, this month is going to shift so much of that thought. Yeah, we've got the Tower, okay? Devastation and distance. It could be that you've been walling up, you've been shelling up, you've hardened your shell, Cancer, so that people can't get close to you or connect with you. You don't really think that people really like or care about you. You don't really believe that people are really interested in what it is that you have to say. You don't really feel like people want to connect with you. You don't feel valuable. You don't feel worthy. Or better put, you do, but you don't think that others value or see your worth. And so this month is definitely a month where you're being asked to work on your connection, because there's a reason this is happening and it's not just coming from the others. So it's working on you also being interested in other people, you being interested in what they're going through in their lives and who they truly are, you seeing people through the eyes of God so that they can see you through the eyes of God too. And then when you do that, you're going to realize that, wow, I was never unseen. I was never unvalued. I was never unheard. And your perspective shifts, because right now it feels like you're wanting a lot from other people to fill this never-ending feeling in your field. And um but that's going to it's going to shift. It's going to change for you, and it's going to yeah, you'll realize that you are valued, you are seen, you are heard, but in perspective, as in equal balance, that everybody has their own lives, everybody has their own pathways, and within that framework you are valued and respected and seen and heard, and not to expect so much from others, maybe, right? Not to expect things that no human being can fulfill, but to realize that this is just as good, that what others have to give you is also valuable and also worthy. Um, it's hard to put into words without getting too, but straightforward. The feeling I'm getting is like, yes, you're hurt. Yes, you need to be valued and respected and heard. But at the same time, I'm not quite sure if you're doing that with others. And at the same time, I'm also feeling like this is the inner child that is never satisfied because it's not receiving it from you, right? From you. And so maybe holding people to standards that are just impossible. But this is going to shift this month. You have the opportunity for that. So there's a special reading for you, Cancer. Okay, moving on to Leo. Leo, what's coming up for Leos, please? Leo. Leo, in this full moon, we've got the fairy godmother. Ooh, so gifts raining coming your way. The fairy godmother is always, she never leaves without giving her charge a gift. So this full moon is bringing some kind of a gift to you. It's some kind of a realization. It's a recognition. It's some kind of a hmm, talent or skill that is opening up for you. This really feels like Leo. This also feels like your generosity is going to be seen and heard, and you want to feel like Santa Claus. You want to feel like a fairy godmother towards others. You want to give other people that which they desire and they crave. You want to see other people happy. So this is beautiful, okay? This is really going to, people are going to be very, very grateful and thankful towards you. And that in and of itself is going to be giving you so much. It's going to be giving you so much. Okay. So moving on to Virgo. Virgo, what's coming up for Virgo with this full moon in Gemini, please? Well, Gemini is your sibling, right? You both have the same ruler of Mercury. And the card that I didn't see that came out for you is the Pied Piper. And so it feels like this is an opportunity for you to check into what you're actually following, okay? And be very, very mindful during this time because you may be following a path that has gotten you off track. You may be following someone that you care about and love very much, but their tune is not your frequency or they're leading you somewhere you don't want to be. So you have to be very, very careful who you're following and what you're doing. Remember, look up the story, The Pied Piper of Hamelin, and see because there's a message in there for you. There's a message in there for you. Okay. And be very, very mindful not to just be a follower, Virgo. I think that's part of it. To dance to the rhythm of your own song, to dance to the rhythm of your own dreams, to do all that, but not just follow someone because they look good, like be very, very mindful that you're following the beat of your own drum. Moving on to Libra. Libra, this full moon in Gemini. And what is it bringing you, Libra? Libra, this full moon in Gemini. And what is it bringing you? What is it bringing you? You've got the fairies of the future. So, Libra, you're looking towards the future, and we see here this pregnant fairy, and there's this expectancy. Okay. Pregnancy is that we call that expecting. She's expecting. So there's this expectation when you're looking towards your future. And it feels like you're really peering far out and trying to see, trying to plan, trying to align things. And you're staying positive, though. You're staying very, very positive. You're keeping your head high. You're moving forward with grace. And it feels like some of the work that you've done has already begun to pay off. It's already begun to pay off. And it's already begun to play itself out in a positive way. So more positive things are coming your way. Utilize this full moon to grow and expand your your empire or your desires, your dreams. But positive expectations will yield positive results. Okay. Moving on. And by the way, some of you may be expecting, or some of you will be, have to be careful because, yeah, that might be as well. That's what's coming through. That there's the possibility that you will actually, that this is literal, that you might actually be expecting. All right, moving on into Scorpio, please. Scorpio. Scorpio, what's coming up for Scorpio? Scorpio, what's coming up for you? And this full moon and Gemini. And we've got the bright mother. Okay. Bright mother. Scorp. Yeah. Scorpio is a deep sign and it's a sign of revealing things, right? So hidden things being revealed, digging into the depths, digging into the darkness. And here we end upon, we dig and dig and dig, and we end into the feminine and feminine issues, worries, concerns. So there might be some things around this moon which may be of concern to you when it comes to your femininity. Some of you are changing cycles, female cycles, feminine cycles. You're moving maybe from a fertile cycle into a non-fertile cycle on in the smaller as well in the larger scale of things. So this may be something that you're really focusing in on. You're taking care of your physical health, physical issues, body issues, getting comfortable in your body, feeling safe in your body, safe in your space. Safety is a big thing here. But also, some of you are diving into also the hidden aspects of femininity. So you may be reading books on that, watching movies on that, learning about that. Why? Because this face popped out for me. Okay, so it's not just her, it's also her. And it feels as if you're wanting to learn more, wanting to go deeper, wanting to welcome in this new cycle of your life as well, come this full moon. So there's a different kind of connection with the universe, let's say, that is playing itself out in your field. And you can either jump on that and ride it or just take care of yourself, take care of your health, your body, your physicality, and learn to balance that. Okay. Okay, Sag. Full moon in Gemini for Sagittarius. Sagittarius, please. Saggies, what's coming up? And Sag, we've got pose honesty. Here we are, honesty. And honestly, we've got honesty showed up in the reverse. Okay. So this could mean that you're being dishonest in some way, shape, or form, or someone is being dishonest to you. Okay. And you have to write this up. You have to see things the way they are in order to move forward. Don't be afraid of looking things square in the eye, of facing things, of seeing what is actually there. Because, like I said before, this is the only way that you're going to be changing anything. If you're asking me for directions and I ask you, where are you right now? Because I'm on the phone with you and you're telling me you want to get from, I don't know, Chicago to Miami, then it doesn't help to lie and say, I'm actually in Atlanta, because then you get wrong directions. And it's the same thing with your state of being and your frequency, right? Especially in combination with your unique energy and frequency, you need specific guidance and directions. And you're only going to get that if you're honest about where you are. And your inner world is always telling you where you are and always telling you what to do next. But to get access to that information that you hold within yourself, the key is honesty. The guide is honesty. And as long as you're honest, you're going to be on your true pathway and you're going to do the right thing, be in the right place at the right time, saying the right things at the right time. Everything's going to work out. But if you start telling fibs, right? Just to look better, feel better, not have to face what is actually true, then things can get very murky indeed. So, this is a full moon that is going to request that of you, full honesty. And if you don't provide that, it might get interesting. No threats here. It's just a consequence. It's just, if you don't move there, then the wave might come and hit you. Like that's exactly the intention that I'm saying this with. It just is what it is. Okay. So radical honesty is going to help you move forward in your situation. Moving forward to Capricorn. Capricorn, what's coming up for you? What is it that you need to know? Cappies, we've got the angel of initiation and solace. So you're being asked to step into your full strength and your mind strength here, right? And to really utilize your mind. So much in spirituality, we forget that the mind is also important. We have to take the mind with us. We have to elevate our minds. We have to use our minds. We have to train our minds, all of that. And so there's an initiation coming up for you around confidence, around how you use your mind confidently, about how much confidence you display in your day to day life, how confident you are about yourself. And it also feels as if there's this energy around you taking action. How do you take action? How do you go about things? How do you do things? How do you move things forward? And that's going to be coming up brought to light. Okay. So there's a big bright light shining here. So things around your solar plexus, around your stomach area might pop up for you. But overall, I'm feeling like this is a great opportunity for you to really step into confidence, because whatever it is that you approach confidently this month is going to succeed. Okay. So if you've been someone who's been shy, who's been hiding, who's been, a wallflower kind of type energy, you have to show up this month. You have to stand your ground. You have to set your boundary. You have to, shine your light. You have to reveal yourself, and you're going to win. Aquarius. Oh, what's coming up for Aquarius, please, with this full moon in Gemini? What does Aquarius need to know? Full moon in Gemini, please. Full moon in Gemini. What does Aquarius need to know? Full moon in Gemini, we've got the Nethys, the alchemist. So she is definitely a transmuter. Okay. She touches things with her fairy wand and they just go poof and transform into something else. But an alchemist, even though it looks like magic what she does, she's following strict rules. She's following strict understandings. She has gained knowledge of her craft. She has practiced. She has played around with it. So there's something asking you to become good at what it is that you do, to become good at what it is that you're trying to make happen. And for that, you have to lose the fear of endings. Okay. So there's something that you fear is ending, something that you fear is coming to an end, or that's what you think, or that's what you're afraid of. And you have to learn to get this fear out of your system because no transformation comes without an end. There is none, right? There is none. There is no transformation that comes without an end. Whatever happened before has to end. And so this card is not really well, it can be, it actually can be quite the dicey card to deal with, but it's indicating that, you're recognizing now, Aquarius, that a certain phase of your life, a certain chapter of your life has come to an end. And it's time to alchemize the rest of what remains of that old life and create something new. Okay. Create something new. And now to Pisces. What's coming up for you, Pisces? What's coming up for Pisces, please? What's coming up for Pisces? What's coming up for Pisces? This moon in Gemini, full moon in Gemini for Pisces. Full moon in Gemini, we've got the singer of courage or the angel of courage. Wow. Okay. Pisces, this feels like you're being stretched. You're being stretched to your limits and you have to grow beyond your limits. You've reached your limit in something and life is still demanding you to continue to go on. And you're like, I don't know how to do this. I've reached my limit. And now it's time for you to stretch past those limits. And that takes courage, right? And that's the whole key to life. The secret of life is courage. And interestingly enough, this brings us full circle because I just randomly pulled a card out, but we've got the Mick the oh no, we've got Geo the slow. So he's the what do you call it? The compadre, the colleague, the friend of Mick the Myomancer. And he is father time. He moves things very slowly, he slows things down. And this is probably why you're also going to need courage because you may be feeling like nothing is moving ahead for you in the month of December, Pisces. Like things are moving very slowly, even though they are growing, the plants are growing, everything's happening, but it's like watching paint dry. It's like it is drying, it is happening, but it feels as if this courage is what is needed to get through this with patience. Okay. And you have to have the courage to be patient, which means you have to have faith in the outcome of what it is that you have planned for this month, what it is that you're working on for this month. You have to have faith in the outcome that things are going to work out for you. I'm going to pull one more card. And yeah, we've got Lauste, Moon's daughter, and she has to do with nightmares, right? So she's for those of you that can't sleep, that stay up at night, wake up with anxiety. She is the one that is there, and she's the one that brings all this to light. Look how light she is, right? Look how light she is. But she is, even though she can be said that she's the one that awakens this anxiety, that wakes you up in the middle of the night, she's doing this for a purpose because during the day you're ignoring all of it, but during the night you're seeing all of it. And she's just illuminating, she's just showing what is. And again, she rides in and she feels quite comfortable with old structures. And these structures are ancient, as you can tell, right? So, because they're so old and so ancient, they may even feel spooky or creepy or dark to us because we have no connection to that level of being anymore, but she does. So, there's this going into the sphere of connecting to very old currents and very old ways of being to feel the continuity. This is somehow important for you to feel the continuity, to feel the belonging, to feel the balance, to feel that things are even going to continue with you. They're not just going to stop with you, they're going to keep going through you. I don't know how else to say that, but your soul will understand. But let me pull a Lenormand for you, Pisces. Pisces, full moon in Gemini, please. Yeah, we've got decision and stars. So two cards came out, and it feels like you're struggling with yourself. One second here. Just looking at, yeah. You're struggling with yourself between your heart and your mind to make a decision and to make a successful decision. It's like I want to see till the end of the road. I want to know what goes all the way to the end of this path and what goes all the way to the end of that path. And then I'll have more information. Then I can make a clear decision. But Spirit's like, no, you got to develop faith, hope, love, belief, confidence, and make your decision based on your feeling, on what's calling you forward, what's calling your name, what you feel called by. Because it doesn't matter at the end of the day which direction you choose, right? It doesn't. It literally doesn't. It doesn't matter. It's because it's not about the goal. It's not about the endings. It's about the experience on the way there. And either way, you're going to have an experience on this road. So be optimistic, be of good faith, be positive, see things in a great mindset way, and you'll see how things work out for you. Okay. All right, you guys, thank you so much. I am on a new platform called Hypesy, and the link is in the description box below this video. So if you would like to get in touch with me and get a real live reading with me quickly on almost immediately, check out the link on Hypesy and Hypesy and follow me there. Okay. And I can't wait to see you over there. Take care. Bye.